Hi guys, Smith here, welcome to the first round of the XRL Formula C League, and today I'm at Francorchamps. Now, just thought I'd do a quick explanation on why I'm racing Formula Cs in the XRL. Now, last season I did 3 races, Alton Park, Zuzai and Sakito. I won 2 out of 3, but really I started at the back end of last season. My intention wasn't to actually race in the XRL until obviously the F1 games came out, but with how poor the F1 games are, I think, you know, that was never going to happen, and Bernie managed to talk me into racing in XRL. I mean, he was asking me if I want to race GT cars, but to be honest, I'd rather race the Formula C cars because I know they are nice to drive and they're pretty competitive. So, and also, to be honest, I didn't really want to race GT cars twice in 2 days because obviously, you know, it is endurance and it does get a bit boring racing, you know, the same cars 2 days in a row for about a combined total about 2.5 hours. So anyway, just a quick explanation on the drivers and that. We've got Francorchamps, the defending champion, who's very quick. He's a very quick driver, as you can guess, because he's won the championship. We've got Bermerjo and Troiolo, who are really the main 3 that come to my head. Although we've got some other drivers. I mean, we've got drivers I've raced against, Bernie and Davey on Codemasters F1 titles, which they're quick. You know, so really, it's going to be a really competitive league. We've got others as well. There's some new guys and some old guys who obviously, on any given day, you know, they could bring a surprise. So it's going to be a really competitive league, and it'll be interesting to see how I do. This, as you can guess, is my best qualifying lap, but hopefully I can have a good qualifying. Really want to try and get top 2 or 3 position if possible, but coming through the chicane now up to La Source. So just really trying to get a good exit out of La Source, crucial to go to the start finish straight, the old start finish straight, because we don't, on this game you don't use the F1 start finish straight. So going down the hill now to complete the lap, and I do a 2:08.7, which put me in 3rd place. And to be honest, I honestly thought I'd have a good chance of getting pole, but then I see the times and I see Francorchamps was only 8 thousandths off me, but oh well, I was only 8 thousandths off Francorchamps, but Bermerjo was 4 tenths quicker, and I mean, I wasn't going to do that, to be honest. So he deserved pole, and we'll see now as the green lights go out, lights out, and away we go. You'll see Troiolo gets a fantastic start, maybe jumped it, but anyway, going uphill now and just trying to obviously take it safe and steady. And you'll see now the slipstream is going to be pretty overpowered, as I'm going to really get a good slipstream off, I believe, Troiolo, and then I'll go into Francorchamps slipstream, heading into Lacombe, as you call it, and Troiolo, I think, spins, Francorchamps spin out, then Troiolo parks it, so I don't know what happened to Troiolo, but anyway, I'm into 2nd position. Kamikaze, who is Bermerjo's teammate, in 3rd position, so obviously just trying to get close to Bermerjo, but he has got quite a decent gap, and you'll see now this example that Bermerjo is, you'll see, look at the time he gains on me on the straight. You'll see now going uphill, and he's gaining all the time, and this just proves what a good setup he had on the car, as coming up to the sector times, and you'll probably see that it's about 2.7 seconds, so I think he gained about 8 or 9 tenths on me, so he's gained quite a lot in that sector. But you'll see now I gained all this time back through the middle sector, so it just really shows that he set the car up for the 1st and 3rd sector. You're probably thinking, well, why didn't I do that? But I'll be honest, the car felt really unstable at the rear, with low downforce at the back, so I decided to obviously put more downforce on, because you know, if you have an unstable well, if I have an unstable rear, I think you don't get confidence with it, and cost you time. So that's why I decided to have a bit more downforce on. But obviously it cost me through the straights, as you'd have guessed. But look, I've gained all that time back now on him, about 1.3 seconds. But now again, it's about 3 seconds after the first sector, so he's just pulling away, just to prove that it weren't a fluke. But anyway, get on the grass there, which probably cost me a bit of time, probably a few attempts. So, but yeah, the car felt actually really nice to drive, and to be honest, I felt like I had a good setup, but obviously it weren't good enough. But the time you sacrifice on the corners, you gain on the straights. But you know, if you don't have an unstable car, then there's more risk of losing it. And I honestly didn't feel with the setup I had on that I was going to lose the car at all, unless I made a mistake, you know. So anyway, again, I gained about 9/10 on Bermerjo, so gaining a lot of time, but not close enough. And you know, really, that was sort of the story. I was closing on him in the corners, but he was gaining on the straights. And obviously with Spa, 2 of 3 sectors is mainly just straights. Obviously he was just gonna have that advantage, and unless he made a mistake, I was never gonna pass him. And then I realised, then I was looking, I was hoping that Bermerjo was gonna pit, and then I realised, as you see, lap 11, lap 12, I gathered he wasn't gonna pit. And then on lap 13, him and his teammate are not stopping, so looks like I'm gonna get third, and then take too much runoff and hit the wall. And you'll see now car's veering, and at the time I didn't feel like there was that much damage. I managed to sort of save it from being way more damage that there could have been, because I mean, I braked quite a lot, and thankfully the wheel only scraped the wall, because I think if it had took full force, it'd have probably I'd have lost the wheel. So then obviously race would have been over. But it was obviously frustrating because I was actually catching Kamikaze. So I think with the without the problem, I could have probably got, maybe could have got second, but it's easy to say that after the event. I mean, I was definitely losing about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds a lap. So I finished about 8 seconds behind him. So obviously with about 5 laps to go, could have catched him, but you know, it's easy to say. But anyway, third position was decent to beat Francorchamps, who is the reigning champion, and Troiolo is good, but Bermerjo is also a guy that I think could be challenging for the championship. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the race. Not much to report, but anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, for Hockenheim, goodbye.